Hello, everybody. I hope you did get the recent magazine, the October issue of the Florist Review magazine. I actually did a article, actually on the a vertical nouveau, like a vertical designing with glass cylinder and the Smithers Oasis wire mesh. And so this might look familiar because it's in it's one of the structures that I built for the third arrangement. So if you're interested in checking out how I did the three different designs, the three vertical nouveau designs, just check out this video. Welcome to Creative Edge, the October issue for Florist Review magazine. This issue actually deals with corporate parties and events and for the holidays, etc. And so I thought what would be really perfect would be a design that is showy by size and easy to assemble because of its mechanics. And it's changeable by the way you design with the components that I've decided to use. So basically, the three different categories of designs that I put together, the basic, commercial, the advanced commercial, and the art form, all have exactly the same mechanics, but just designed slightly differently. The mechanics itself is actually a glass cylinder. It's just a 9-inch cylinder, clear glass. I added the floral mesh, which is Smithers Oasis product, and that is supported, lifted up with glass rod so that it blends in with the clear glass. So it has a floating effect, and it has two towers of this mesh and water tubes, which is then interconnected with lichen branches and Douglas fir branches. So it's got that kind of a Christmas holiday feel to it. Right away, it has a very woodland Christmas feel. And into it, the water tubes into the towers, I designed with the mini gerbs in red. And it also has some permanent berries and cones so that it has that general Christmas kind of woodland look. The two towers of flowers, the gerbras, doesn't require a lot of product, but it gives you visual attention by the height of it and the width of it by having the two of them side by side, bridging with the branches and the Ornithogalum thyrsoides, which kind of crosses over and creates an interactive kind of a feeling. It's a big arrangement without the middle being so full. You can extend it or expand it wider, or you can add on extra towers to make it 3 or 4 towers so that it becomes a bigger and broader and wider arrangement as you add on the extra components. Another great thing about it is that the flowers that are used are short stems so that you don't have to have long stem to create such a tall arrangement. This mechanic allows for, once it's built, that you can repeatedly use it for efficient and profitable designs that can be designed over and over again. In this second arrangement, which I call it the advanced commercial because it has a little bit more interesting creative components to it, it really is the same mechanics underneath. It is a glass cylinder with an addition of glass rod that holds the floral mesh and the water tubes, but it also has a overwrap over that cylinder with the Korean wrapping paper that's made by Boza, kind of a sheer fibrous wrapping paper that is really lovely. So you don't see the actual mechanics of the wire itself. It is overlaid with the Merlino extender that's being sort of twisted and curvilinearly wraps around the tower so that it gives you a very interesting viney look of a botanical. And then over it, a wrap of jasmine to just sort of grow alongside. The flowers then naturally just sort of are inserted into the water tubes to make it look natural, like a garden setting in a tower. It's really a beautiful tapestry of flowers in an upright vertical arrangement. That's why we call it sort of Nouveau Vertical, because it has a totally different mechanic than what is normally expected in a vertical arrangement. In the last arrangement, it's really another play off of the number 2 arrangement in that it also has a paper component to it, but this time the paper is actually mulberry paper, sheer mulberry paper that's been torn so that it has the sort of deco torn edges. And then they're actually in little pieces inserted into the cubic opening of the wire mesh. And so it's very much more 3D in the way the paper treatment is. So it really is a paper sculpture that's been created on the wire mesh. And then onto it, I added the lichen branches and the steel grass, and then used the water tubes to hold the alocasia, beautiful foliages that are so stunning, very artsy, along with Ornithogalum thursidus in the positioning that makes it so flattering into the sculpture, the paper sculpture itself. It's a very minimalist design, as a lot of my floral art pieces are, because it really showcases the mixture of the medium of paper in this particular case to the living botanical materials that are showcased as a feature upon the texture of the paper.